You grew up in Soyapango. It's a sprawling working-class municipality east of San Salvador with about 290,000 people packed into 29 square kilometers. That's roughly 10,000 people per square kilometer, one of the densest urban areas in Central America. From the outside, it's just concrete and rebar. Cinder block houses stacked on hillsides with corrugated tin roofs and laundry lines crossing the streets like bunting at a party nobody threw. But from the inside, from your mother's kitchen, it's the smell of pupusas de queso frying at 6 a.m. It's your neighbor Don Raul playing guitar badly but confidently every Sunday. It's your little sister Lucia drawing on the kitchen floor with broken crayons. Soyapango isn't a good neighborhood, but it's your neighborhood, and there's a difference. When you're 11, your father is shot 3 times outside a tienda 4 blocks from your house. He owned a small shoe repair stand in the Soyapango market. He'd been paying la renta, extortion money, to a local MS-13 clique for 2 years, roughly $50 a month, half his income. One month he was short by $15. $15. That's what his life was worth to them. El Salvador's homicide rate in 2015 was 103 per 100,000 people, the highest in the world for a country not at war. Your father was one of the 6,656 Salvadorans murdered that year. Your mother identifies his body at the Instituto de Medicina Legal. You're not allowed inside. You sit in the hallway and watch ants crawling across the tile floor. You count 17 ants. You remember that number forever. After the funeral, your mother says one thing to you. She says, you are not going to end up like your father, and you are not going to end up like the people who killed him. That sentence becomes your entire operating system. You go to school. You don't join anything. MS-13 recruits kids starting at age 12 in Soyapango. Barrio 18 recruits them at 11. Every week, someone from one of those groups offers you something. Protection, money, brotherhood. Every week, you say no. You finish secondary school, you get a technical certificate in mobile phone repair from INSAFORP, El Salvador's National Vocational Training Institute. It takes 18 months. You're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, but you can fix a cracked iPhone screen in 22 minutes, and that is a skill that actually pays. By 24, you've got a small repair stall in the Soyapango market. Same market your father had his shoe stand. Same aisle, actually. You don't think about that too much. Business is steady. You fix phones, tablets, the occasional laptop. You make about $400 a month. Not great, not nothing. You've been saving for 18 months. Here's the plan. You're going to move your mother and Lucia to Antiguo Cuscatlán. It's a municipality west of San Salvador, one of the safest areas in the country. Homicide rate close to 0. Rent is higher, about $350 a month for a small place, but the schools are better and nobody pays la renta to anyone. You need $1,200 for the deposit and first 2 months. You have $940. 3 more weeks of saving. 3 weeks. That's it. You're almost out. You close up the shop on a Tuesday evening. You walk to the tienda on the corner. You want a Coca-Cola. You've earned it. 9:30 p.m. Tuesday night. You're standing outside the tienda holding a cold Coca-Cola. You've taken exactly 1 sip. 1. That's all you get. 3 military trucks block both ends of the street simultaneously. Soldiers in black tactical gear carrying Galil Ace rifles pour out before the engines are even off. This is en operativo, a mass sweep. Since President Bukele declared a state of exception on March 27, 2022, over 80,000 people have been arrested in sweeps exactly like this. The constitutional right to be informed of charges, suspended. Right to legal counsel within 72 hours, suspended. Freedom of association, suspended. A state of exception is supposed to be temporary. This one has been renewed over 30 times. A soldier grabs your arm. The Coca-Cola hits the pavement. You just lost $940 worth of plans, 18 months of saving, and the future in Antiguo Cuscatlán. You just don't know it yet. White plastic zip tie around both wrists, yanked tight. The edge bites into your skin immediately. You tell the soldier you're not in a gang. He doesn't respond. You tell him again. He shoves you toward the truck. You look at the other men being rounded up. The old guy who sells lottery tickets on this corner. A teenager in a school uniform who looks like he was walking home. 2 construction workers still covered in cement dust. None of these people are gang members. You grew up here. You know who's in and who's not. But the soldiers don't know. Under the state of exception, soldiers can detain anyone in a designated high-risk zone without specifying a reason. Soyapango is classified as a high-risk zone. Your entire municipality, 290,000 people, all suspects. You're lifted into the truck bed. 23 men. The canvas flap closes. It's dark. Police delegation. Concrete room, no chairs, no water. 43 men standing shoulder to shoulder. You count them because counting is the only thing your brain can still do. The guy to your left is a baker named Carlos, 41 years old, 3 kids, still has flour on his forearms. The kid behind you says he's 16, says he was walking home from tutoring. You've been standing for 4 hours when you realize something. Your phone is in the evidence pile, and your mother has no idea where you are. She's probably calling you right now. She's probably calling Lucia asking if she's heard from you. In about 6 hours, she's going to walk to the tienda where you were taken, and the shop owner will tell her what happened. And then your mother, who lost her husband to gang violence, is going to learn that the government just took her son for standing on a street corner with a Coca-Cola. You don't cry. You want to, but this room doesn't feel safe enough for that. Morning. A man in civilian clothes reads 15 names off a clipboard. Yours is number 11. He says you're being transferred. Someone asks, transferred where? He walks out without answering. Under normal Salvadoran law, El Código Procesal Penal, you'd appear before a judge within 72 hours. The state of exception changed that to 30 days. Then they extended it to 30. Human Rights Watch documented over 3,000 cases of people held longer than 6 months without ever seeing a courtroom. You're loaded onto a white prison transport bus with steel mesh over every window. 38 men. No air conditioning. The temperature inside hits 45 degrees Celsius within 20 minutes. The bus heads east on the Pan American Highway. An hour in, someone says CECOT, and the entire bus goes silent like someone pulled the plug on the room. You were hoping for regular prison. That's the bar now. You were hoping for regular prison. Think about that. CECOT, Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo. Tecoluca, San Vicente Department, 74 kilometers southeast of the capital. Built on a cleared hillside surrounded by nothing but farmland. 166 acres. Designed for 40,000 inmates. Currently holding over 12,000. The largest prison in the Americas. When the bus crests the hill, you see it. Gray concrete stretching in every direction. Watchtowers every 200 meters. Double-layered razor wire fencing with a 3-meter kill zone between the two fences. Your brain does something unexpected. It goes calm. Not peaceful, the calm of a computer shutting down non-essential programs to save power. Your brain decides that panic is a luxury you can't afford and quietly switches it off. The gate opens. The bus drives through. The gate closes behind you. You don't look back because there's nothing behind you anymore. Off the bus, single file, hands on the head of the man in front of you, like a conga line designed by someone who genuinely hates fun. Processing room. They cut your zip ties. They tell you to strip. Everything. You're standing naked in a line of naked men under fluorescent lights. No privacy. Your head is shaved in 30 seconds. You're handed a white t-shirt and white shorts. No sizes. You're either lucky or you're swimming in fabric. Then the technology. CECOT uses CoreSight AI, an Israeli facial recognition system. Your face is scanned and run against gang member databases. They photograph your entire body, looking for MS-13 or Barrio 18 tattoos. You have no tattoos. You have a scar on your left knee from falling off a bicycle when you were 9. That's it. The algorithm doesn't care. Male, 1835, from a high-risk zone. File created. Charges, blank. Release date, blank. Your entire legal status can be summarized as to be determined, with no one actively determining it. 7 doors between processing and the cell block. Each one solid steel with an electromagnetic lock. Each one requires a guard to radio central control. Each one closes behind you before the next one opens. This is a Sally port system, standard in maximum security facilities, but CECOT has more sequential ports than any prison in the Western Hemisphere. Door 1, you can still hear the yard. Door 2, muffled. Door 3, silence. Door 4, you realize you're underground. Door 5, your ears adjust to a new kind of quiet. Not peaceful quiet, the quiet of a place that was built to make noise disappear. Door 6, you stop counting the steps. Door 7, you forget what question you were going to ask. Every door is designed to do one thing: make you feel farther from the exit. It works. The cell, 32 square meters, about the size of a mid-range hotel room, maybe a Marriott, except the Marriott holds 2 people, a king bed and a minibar with overpriced cashews. This room holds 80 men. 80. In 32 square meters, that's 0.4 square meters per person. A standard coffin gives you 0.5. You literally have less personal space than a dead person. No beds, no bunks, no mats, concrete floor, 2 toilets for 80 men, no seats on the toilets. The ceiling is 7 meters high, with a single ventilation grate the size of a laptop screen. 80 men breathing through one laptop. You step inside and try to find a spot to stand. A man shifts 3 inches to the left. That's your space. 3 inches of generosity from a stranger. You sit down on the concrete, pull your knees to your chest, and think about the Marriott thing again. You decide that if you ever get out, you're going to stay at one, just to compare. 2 meals a day. Beans and 2 tortillas in the morning, rice and 2 tortillas at night. Total intake, roughly 1,300 calories. The average adult male needs 2,500. You're running a 1,200 calorie deficit every day. Within 2 weeks, your body begins gluconeogenesis. Your liver starts converting muscle protein into glucose because it has nothing else to burn. You can feel yourself shrinking, your arms first, then your face. Your cheekbones become visible for the first time in your life. You know what's genuinely insane? Before this, you were trying to lose weight. You had one of those calorie tracking apps on your phone, MyFitnessPal. You set a goal to lose 5 kilograms. You were eating salads, doing push-ups. Now you're losing weight at a rate that would make a fitness influencer concerned. And all it took was getting your constitutional right suspended. 5-star results, 0-star method. Would not recommend. No yard time, no outdoor access. CECOT inmates are confined to their cells 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No sunlight, no exercise, no fresh air. The United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the Treatment of Prisoners, the Nelson Mandela Rules, adopted in 2015, define solitary confinement as 22 or more hours per day without meaningful human contact. By that definition, every inmate in CECOT is technically in solitary confinement, even though you're packed in with 79 other men. You're alone in a crowd. That's a special kind of lonely they haven't invented a word for yet. Day 4. You lose track of time. The lights never change, never dim, never turn off. Morning and night are the same color. You start counting days by meals. 2 meals equals 1 day. It works until you fall asleep through a meal and lose count. Then you're just guessing. Then you stop caring. You learn the rules fast because the consequences don't come with a warning. No talking above a whisper. No standing when guards walk past. Hands visible at all times. If a guard opens the door, every man drops to the floor immediately. Face down, hands behind the head. No exceptions. No hesitation. Bukele's government filmed this, officially. They released promotional videos showing inmates in exactly these positions, rows and rows of shaved heads face down on concrete, and they posted it to social media as marketing. The video got over 100 million views on Twitter. People in the comments were saying based, and we need this in our country. Meanwhile, you're face down on concrete with your hands behind your head because a guard walked past, and the biggest concern right now is that the guy next to you hasn't showered in 11 days and his elbow is in your face. Peak 2024 content right there. Millions of likes. You're living in a viral video. 0 stars. You learn people through whispers. Carlos the baker, 41, 3 kids. His wife doesn't know where he is. He was walking home from his bakery when the sweep hit. No tattoos, no record. 9 days in. He talks about his sourdough starter back home. He says if nobody feeds it, it'll die in about 2 weeks. He's genuinely worried about the sourdough. You realize that's how people cope. They pick one small thing to worry about so they don't have to think about the enormous thing. Then there's Emilio. Says he's 16. He's actually 17. He lied because someone told him minors get treated better. They don't. Human rights organizations have documented children as young as 12 held in CECOT. 12 years old. That's 7th grade. Emilio sleeps against the wall. He cries at night. He tries to be quiet about it. He's not quiet enough. You put your hand on his shoulder once. You don't say anything. There's nothing to say that the concrete hasn't said louder. 3 months, 90 days, 180 meals of beans and tortillas. You haven't seen a judge, haven't spoken to a lawyer, haven't called your family. Your mother doesn't know if you're alive. She's probably been to every government office in San Salvador by now. She's probably stood in lines that move slower than the one inside your body. She's probably been told to wait. Your mother is very good at being told to wait. She's been waiting her whole life. Your body has changed. You've lost about 11 kilograms. Your gums bleed when you press them. That's scurvy, vitamin C deficiency. Takes about 30 days of zero vitamin C for the first symptoms. Your diet of beans and tortillas provides almost none. An 18th century British sailor would recognize what's happening to you. That's where you are. You have a disease from the age of exploration in a prison that uses facial recognition AI. The future and the past met inside your mouth, and they're both terrible. Day 97. A guard reads 4 names, not yours. Day 98. 3 names, not yours. Day 99. 1 name, Carlos, the baker. He stands up slowly. His knees crack like dry wood. He's lost weight too. He looks 10 years older than when he came in. He turns to you, you nod, he nods back. That's it. That's the goodbye. No handshake, no see you on the outside, just 2 nods between 2 men who shared a concrete floor for 3 months and a mutual concern about sourdough. He walks out. The door closes. You never see him again. You never find out if he was released or transferred or sent to another cell in another block. You never find out if the sourdough survived. You never find out if his kids remember what he looks like. Some stories don't have endings. They just have a door that closes. 6 months, 180 days, 360 meals. You've been inside longer than some people's entire relationships. You know every crack in the ceiling. You know it takes 14 steps to reach the toilet. You know which spot on the floor retains the most warmth from the bodies around it. You know which guard hums during the night shift. He does it quietly and he probably doesn't know anyone can hear. And which guard kicks the door if someone whispers too loud. The guy who walked into this cell holding a Coca-Cola doesn't exist anymore. You think about him sometimes. The guy with the phone repair stall, the savings jar, the plan to move to Antiguo Cuscatlan, $940, 3 weeks away from a different life. That guy felt like a real person. This version of you feels like a sketch of one. The cell didn't just take your freedom. It took the version of you that believed the rules work, that if you avoid the gangs and go to school and fix phones and save money, the system protects you. It doesn't. The system doesn't know your name. It never did. Day 203. A guard opens the door, reads 1 name. Yours. You stand up. Your knees crack like Carlos's did. The men around you look at you the same way you looked at everyone who left before you. You don't know what's behind that door. Court, transfer, release, another cell. You don't know. And the terrifying truth about CECOT is they don't tell you until you're through it. You step over sleeping bodies. You walk toward the light in the doorway. You think about your mother. You think about Lucia. You think about $940 in a savings jar. You think about 17 ants on a hospital floor. You think about a Coca-Cola you only got to sip once. You don't look back. This was a story, but for over 80,000 real people in San Salvador right now, it's not. It's Tuesday. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.